Hello. I just went and saw Ready or Not 2. This is gonna be a bit of a combination of Ready or Not and Ready or Not 2. So I literally just saw Ready or Not for the first time. I watched it so that I could go and see the sequel. I don't know, I think I was like kind of intrigued when the first movie came out, but I just like never saw it. And then I kept seeing trailers for Ready or Not 2, and I was like, this movie looks really fun. It's got Sarah Michelle Gellar in it. It's got Elijah Wood in it. Like, I wanna watch whatever this chaos is. And so I was like, well, now I have to see the first one before I can see the second one. And like my dad and I went and like watched something. We saw a trailer to it, and he thought it was also really interesting. So we like just today is Monday. We saw Ready or Not on Friday. So like it's 4 days later and we're watching the sequel. And I definitely prefer the first one more. I honestly, like, after watching the end of the first one, I didn't really think that it needed a sequel. Like, I could understand where a sequel could come from, but like it had a nice fun ending to the first one, and the first one had like such good humor and it was well timed. And between that and also very recently watching They Will Kill You, I'm here for shitty kids attacking women and then women punching the shit out of those shitty kids. Like, that was just fantastic. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it needed a sequel, but like, money. Like, obviously the sequel was made to make money and stuff like that. It felt very. My dad phrased this way. It felt very Hunger Gamesy, in a sense, compared to the first one. 'Cause the first one is just kind of like, I mean, I knew what was gonna happen, but it's like, what's going on? Oh, it's like they have to kill her before dawn. And in this one, it's like we know from the bat what's happening. Like, Grace and Faith are explicitly told, like, this is what's gonna happen. You're either gonna die or everybody else is gonna die. And so, like, that's sort of where the plot starts. Like, we already know it's like sort of where it goes, and I guess it's in a way it's like how the game changes, because it is very similar to the first one. It's like Grace, along with her sister Faith, now have to run away from all these rich people who want to kill them. And so then it's like, how do you change the game in that way? And it's like, instead of one family, it's a bunch of different families. There's a hell of a lot more rules, so it's only one person from each family can compete, but like, because the Davenforth kids are twins, they're allowed to compete at the same time. And then if like one of the family members dies, then the next of kin takes their place in like trying to kill her. And if like one family member kills another like family member, like, even accidentally, then that entire bloodline dies. So like, that we see that with I don't remember anybody's fucking names. The one of the woman who's trying to like technically like save Grace, I guess, where it's like she accidentally kills another guy, and her son end up dying because of it. And the way that her son does is fucking hilarious. But like, that's just how it goes. So it's like, obviously they're changing the game, and then they add in the whole like loophole clause thing at the end, which, like, fine, because I mean, I guess you can't really keep with the same ending of her like surviving until dawn and everybody dying. So it's like, you do it instead with, her sort of being forced to marry Titus, but then like having the one up of literally killing him. So that she's technically in charge of, or has the highest seat among this satanic cult now. It's very convoluted plot, but I felt like they were sort of writing the rules as they went, because my dad pointed this out, and I also had this thought at the end where it's like, she abdicated the high seat, but technically, because she's now part of the family because she married Titus, doesn't that mean that even if she would still have to try and get the ring by dawn, or she would also die? Like, I don't know. I kind of felt like the writers didn't understand the rules. I mean, Elijah Wood's character at the end was just, because like, she abdicates the throne, essentially, like the highest seat, and the one character goes to Elijah Wood's character and is like, can she do that? And he's like, I guess. So, but I loved Elijah Wood's character in this movie. It was so funny. I didn't particularly care for the sibling dynamic. It's because that was a thing that I had, like, having seen all the trailers, like, I knew Grace had a sister, but then it's like watching the first movie, it's like, how does the sister roll into this? Because she talks about how she grew up in foster homes, and it's like, oh, they both grew up in foster homes. They're just strained in their relationship. But, like, I didn't really care for this sibling dynamic. It just, like, wasn't that interesting, and they just sort of like brought it up in random locations, and I was just kind of like, we don't have time for this shit, so like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I just was not a big fan of it, and I didn't think that like the movie overall was as funny or entertaining as the first one. Like, one thing that I absolutely loved about the first one was like the coked up sister who just kept fucking everything up. And my dad and I got so excited. We're like, yeah, we get another coked up guy, and then he dies immediately, and we're like, damn it. So I guess in a way they kind of replaced the coked up sister with the jealous ex-girlfriend, but like the jealous ex-girlfriend thing was really stupid. I thought the entire fight between them in the wedding hall was so stupid. I was like not even funny stupid, just like annoying stupid. I was just not a fan for it. But then there are other parts that I did think were really entertaining, like when the kid comes out after his sister dies, calls Grace a bitch in Spanish, and then starts shooting at her. I died of laughter. I thought that was so fucking funny, and I thought it was so hilarious. Like, I thought that was great. I love the bit when the Asian kid who's like playing video games, like, or no, he's not playing video games at the time, but he's like eating. He doesn't notice that his mom is dead now, and everyone else is like backing away or like hiding from people, or Elijah Wood's character just like hides behind the podium, and he's like, where'd everybody go? And then he blows up, and I thought that was really funny. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't as entertaining as the first one, and I think I didn't like the way that they wrote Titus's character, because at the beginning they make him seem to be like the blubbering idiot out of the twins, and then they sort of do this like 180 that like he's the monster out of the two of them, and I didn't particularly like that. Like, I kind of wish that they kept with him being this like blubbering idiot, and that like Sarah Michelle Gellar's character was more of the like conniving, chaotic, like crazy one, but instead it's him, because he like beats the shit out of Faith, and then he's like way too into the concept of marrying Grace. Like, it's supposed to be creepy and gross, and then you're like, it is creepy and gross, because it's like, at least with Wong Cheng Fu, who's Olivia Chang's character's son, with like marrying him, like, he clearly wouldn't have been interested. First off, like, he looks significantly younger than Grace, so like that's its own weird relationship right there. But also, it's like it's very clear that like he would just sort of like ignore her the whole time, and it would very much be like a relationship on paper but nothing else. But it's like very obvious from the get-go of like Titus being way too into agreeing to this marriage that like he would have made Grace's life a living hell. So it was, yeah, but like I didn't really care for that bit. It's like they want him to look like a monster, which is fine, but make him appear as a monster from the beginning. But it's like from the like at the beginning of the movie, he's like too scared and a little bit of a bitch baby to kill David Cronenberg. And then like halfway through the movie, it's like, no, he's the crazy one. And it's like, it doesn't, I don't know. I didn't like the 180 that they did with this character. It just seemed really dumb and stupid. And it's like, considering the fact that he's like around family at the beginning of the film, it makes no sense for him to be the crying little bitch baby not wanting to kill David Cronenberg. So I didn't get it in that sense. I don't know. I feel like overall it was just like, it was okay. I did like the beginning with like when Grace is outside the LaBelle, nope, that's Delamas. I don't remember her fucking in-laws' names, but in front of the mansion, where it's like, you know, you essentially have like the end of the first movie, and then she passes out, and then the camera like stays on her face as she like gets put on the gurney and then gets put in the ambulance, and then when they keep doing chest compressions and use the defibrillator, I thought that was really interesting. And I really liked that camera choice. Other than that, I didn't find the camera choices I don't know, none of them really stood out to me. Like, there wasn't anything that interesting in that sense. So, there's that. I was paying more attention to the plot in this movie than I feel like any of the, like, technical aspects of the film. Just because I was like, the plot's entertaining, but it didn't, like, stand out to me, and it definitely wasn't as good as the first one. I feel like this week has been a week of uh, satanic cults trying to kill other people movies, because I saw Ready or Not on Friday, and then I saw They Will Kill You on Saturday, and then today's Monday, and I saw Ready or Not 2. They Will Kill You review will come out, I think, like, shortly after this one. And I loved that movie. My dad loved that movie, and we sort of, like, watched this movie, and we're like, this movie was fine. They Will Kill You is better. So, it's just, I don't know, there was just something about They Will Kill You that was thoroughly entertaining and really funny and really good, and this one just, like, didn't hit it as much for me, and I think it's just because it's, like, the satanic thing was there, but they didn't, I feel like, make it as big of a thing. It was more about, like, who gains control of power than actually sacrificing anybody to Satan. I don't know. It just didn't feel like the satanic thing just felt like a more plop on. I feel like with the first film, you probably could have had the same plot and then just gotten rid of the whole satanic cult thing. And in this one, I guess in a way it's like because of the supernatural ramifications of if you like screw up when trying to kill Grace, that like the satanic thing works a little bit better, but the like 180 of like now we're having a wedding in like a satanic temple kind of thing, it just didn't work for me, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah. I mean, those are all my thoughts. It was just like, it was fine, but it wasn't great. No, it wasn't as good as the first one, and then nothing will beat They Will Kill You. Please go watch They Will Kill You. You will see my review of it like next week. I loved that movie. I thought that movie was great. But let me know what you thought of Ready or Not and Ready or Not 2. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Bye bye.